Just had to kill a lot of people!
What's the location in the state park that we need to be responding to?
Medic 4 and Strickler. Washington County received a call from the visitor center. 2 children are there. They advised that their parents were assaulted. One was possibly stabbed. The parents are missing.
In trail, icebox, hiking down, for help.
Copy that. Say again. Repeat.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
Try to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. Just a couple minutes. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
It is Saturday, July 26, 2025. Clinton David Brink and Cristen Amanda Brink, along with their 2 daughters, set out for a family hike at Devil's Den State Park in Washington County, Arkansas. Shortly after, a man with a knife wearing all black stabs Clinton and Cristen while their daughters run for help. The Brinks, who had recently relocated from South Dakota to Prairie Grove, Arkansas, just 10 days earlier, were accompanied by 2 of their 3 daughters, ages 7 and 9. Their 3rd daughter was not with them that day. The family was hiking along a remote trail about half a mile into the park when tragedy struck. According to Arkansas State Police, the attack began around midday. Clinton was targeted first, stabbed repeatedly with a knife. In a heart-wrenching act of heroism, Cristen acted swiftly to protect her daughters. Authorities believe she ushered the 7 and 9-year-old girls to safety, likely leading them away from the assailant. But Cristen didn't stay safe. She returned to the trail to help her husband. Tragically, she was also stabbed to death. Both Clinton and Cristen died from their wounds, their bodies discovered later that day by park authorities. The couple's daughters, though physically unharmed, were left emotionally devastated. These 2 young girls, described by police as heroes, played a pivotal role in the investigation. They provided a detailed description of the suspect to authorities, giving investigators their first lead. The girls eventually flagged down someone in the park who helped them alert authorities. At approximately 2:40 p.m., Arkansas State Police were notified, but the park's lack of cell phone service and remote location delayed response efforts. The bodies of Clinton and Cristen were found on the trail, and the girls were placed in the care of family members. The Brink family later released a statement saying Clinton and Cristen died heroes, protecting their little girls, and they deserve justice. They will forever live on in all of our hearts. The couple's selflessness in their final moments has been hailed by authorities and loved ones alike. Arkansas State Police Colonel Mike Hager said, "We're in awe of this mom and dad. They absolutely protected those girls to their fullest extent, to the point that it cost them their lives." Andrew James McGann, a 28-year-old resident of Springdale, Arkansas. McGann shockingly was a school teacher. He didn't have a criminal history. He had recently moved to Arkansas from Oklahoma and was hired as a school teacher candidate for the 2025-2026 school year at Springdale Public Schools. According to Superintendent Jared Cleveland, McGann had not yet started his job or interacted with the students or families, as the school year had not begun. McGann's teaching career spanned multiple states. From 2023 to 2024, he taught 5th grade at Spring Creek Elementary in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He left the district of his own accord to work out of state, passing all required background checks. From summer 2024 to May 2025, he was employed at Sand Springs Public Schools, also in Oklahoma, before resigning to move to Arkansas. Earlier during the 2022-2023 school year, McGann taught at Donald Elementary in Flower Mound, Texas, part of the Louisville Independent School District. There he was placed on administrative leave in spring 2023, following complaints of poor classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism. A parent whose son was in McGann's 4th grade class in Texas described him as standoffish and disinterested in his students, giving one-word responses to questions. She alleged McGann displayed inappropriate behavior toward female students, such as being very touchy and keeping them back from recess.
He eventually told me that him and some other classmates had noticed that Mr. McGann was very touchy and showed a lot of favoritism to certain girls in the class, and that when they would go out for recess, sometimes he would choose one of those girls to stay behind, just one-on-one, him in the classroom while everyone went outside, and that when they'd come back from recess, he would sometimes have the little girl in his lap. And around the same time, he would bring like treats and goodies and stuff, but just for these little girls. And I think the straw that finally, made my son just like snap and spill it all was that he had heard Mr. McGann tell one of the little girls, "If you were older, I would love to marry you."
You give me the fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
Fuck you.
An internal investigation by Louisville ISD found no evidence of criminal behavior, but McGann resigned in May 2023. McGann had a history of moving between schools after allegations of inappropriate behavior. Despite his clean criminal record and active teaching licenses in Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, McGann's actions at Devil's Den revealed a capacity for extreme violence. Authorities have found no connection between McGann and the Brinks, describing the attack as completely random. Looking at witness reports of past allegations on how McGann would favor certain girls in the class over others points to many red flags. He depicts a depraved animal, a predator lurking behind the trees. After a 5-day manhunt involving Arkansas State Police, local law enforcement, and the FBI, Andrew James McGann was arrested on Wednesday, July 30th, 2025 at 4:57 p.m. The arrest took place at a barbershop in Springdale, Arkansas, roughly 30 miles north of Devil's Den State Park. In a fun twist, McGann was getting a haircut when authorities apprehended him.
So it was just like a normal day at work. I was going into the break room to heat up my food. The door to the outside is open, so I just noticed, a black car pulled up. We have many clients that come in and out, so I'm like, okay, it's a client. I came back upstairs, and I believe my aunt, who's also a coworker, asked him, to sign his name, and he just looked at her, and she felt like, something kind of didn't feel right, but she didn't think anything of it. So I'm like, hey, I can go ahead and sit you in my chair. I can cut your hair. And that's when we started talking about how he wanted his hair cut. I did not know him. I've never seen him go into the salon. As soon as I saw him, as I was telling him to come into my chair, I had an eerie feeling about him. One thing I did notice as he was walking towards this way was his eyes. They were very sunken. Honestly, like I said before, he looked soulless. He didn't look right. As I was examining his hair, his scalp looked very dry and matted.
Major Stacy Rhodes noted that McGann was completely cooperative during the arrest and made no effort to flee or conceal his identity, which she described as sloppy, given the severity of the crime. During an interview with investigators, McGann admitted to killing Clinton and Cristen, though authorities have not elaborated on the exact nature of his confession. His DNA matched blood evidence at the scene, and items found in his home further corroborated his involvement. McGann was charged with 2 counts of capital murder and is being held without bond at Washington County Jail. His first court appearance was scheduled today, August 1st, 2025, with an arraignment expected the following week. Washington County Prosecuting Attorney Brandon Carter stated that his office will not waive the death penalty, signaling a rigorous prosecution. The motive for the murders remains under investigation. Arkansas State Police have found no evidence that McGann knew the Brinks or their daughters, reinforcing the random nature of the attack. All trails at Devil's Den State Park remain closed, and law enforcement presence has increased at state parks across Arkansas. The Brink family has started a verified GoFundMe to cover funeral expenses, which I linked in the description. The Devil's Den murders are a stark reminder of how quickly a moment of joy can turn to tragedy. Clinton and Cristen Brink gave their lives to protect their daughters. Andrew James McGann, a pathetic and demonic animal entrusted with educating children, took the lives of 2 parents and traumatized 3 young children. And that makes him an American psycho.